Welcome back to part 2 of the dentist lead funnel build. Last time we went through the initial landing page of this funnel and built it all out step by step to show you how to do that. And today we're going to go through the second page, which is a survey, aka quiz funnel page. What's going to happen on this page in the end result is going to look like what we have here. And essentially you have this survey down here that's going to have 4 questions in there, and every time you click on one it jumps to the next. It'll also do the progress bar here. So we'll walk through that and show you how to build that. And again, as always, all of our funnel builds, we have a link in the description that will allow you to grab the entire funnel, all 5 pages, to use it however you want to. You can go ahead and customize it. You can keep it for a dentist, for dental implants, or you can change it to a different niche. All that's there, free of charge. Go ahead and grab that and start playing around with it. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to ClickFunnels where we can build out this page. Show you how to do it. All right. We are back in ClickFunnels where we left off last time. You'll see the page that we created and built out. So what we want to do next is build out a brand new page. Again, we're going to start with a blank slate. In order to do that, you go ahead and click on Add Funnel Step. We'll call it Quiz Page, and then click Create. You can define your own path if you like, but I usually leave that blank for now. And then it takes you to all of these templates that you may have. We're going to go ahead and scroll all the way down to the bottom and click on the blank one. And that'll allow us to start with that clean slate that I like to start with. Again, there's plenty of templates in ClickFunnels, so you can use those to start out with. Since I already know what I'm building and have already built it out separately, I'm just going to go ahead with blank slate and build it out that way. So you click on the edit page. This is the default that goes in there, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And now we can go ahead and get started. The first 2 sections that we're going to build out are repeats from what we did last time. So I'm going to go through them relatively quickly. The header of the page is going to be the same, and the footer of the page is going to be the same. So I'm going to jump through those. I'll still show all the steps that I do. We'll just go through it quickly. So we're going to go with new section, full width, new row, 2 columns, and a new element. What we're going to do is we're going to grab an image, click on that, and we're going to grab that pretend logo that we had last time. Once we have that there, we'll go ahead and do the 200 so it matches the other page. And there, oh wait, one more thing. We're going to update the settings. So we trim down the top and the bottom padding in both the section and in the row. And then that gives us a pretty clean slate. You just take up enough room for the logo, no more, no less. It just covers what you need. And then we're going to quickly do the footer, which we can do that right away to create a buffer on both sides. So I did that. I'm going to do a 1 column in the footer. I'm going to go ahead and add a paragraph here. And as always, I have the page already built out on another screen. To save time, just copy and paste. You always want to have a copyright in there. And the other thing you always want in the footer is the privacy and terms and conditions. So just like last time, I'm going to go ahead and use the navigation button. There it is. And I'm going to click into that. We're going to make a few changes to this. We're going to change the color of the text. I'm going to do a dark gray. And then we are going to go quick over advanced. And instead of 3 links, see how we have 3 on the bottom here? We're going to switch that to 2. And then back into settings, we're going to type out privacy policy as 1. You enter the link in there. I'm not going to put one in there, but whatever link you have in your website, you can use the same link. And then always, 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 when it comes to policies and terms and conditions, change this drop down from same window to new window. That allows, if they click on that, it keeps your landing page up so they don't lose it, and it just allows them to come back to it easily. Because if you do it on the same page, there's a very low chance that they're going to come back. And then for the second link, do terms and conditions. Again, you'll enter your link here, and you'll switch this to new. That's it. That is the header and footer, exact same thing we did in the last one. In future ones, I'll probably go ahead and skip that and have it already in there when we get started. So now we're going to get into the meat of this. We have two sections on this page. We have one section which is the start of the quiz, basically asking, are you ready for implants? Go ahead and take the quiz to find out. And then we have the quiz one, which the quiz one is going to be the bulk of this video. So let's go ahead and create, that's the only challenge with this is it jumps around a lot. So let's go ahead and create a new section. And this is going to be full width. And we want to go ahead and change the background color of this. We just want it to be a darker blue, similar to how we had it in the other page. This allows the contrast with the rest of with essentially the quiz. I'm grabbing the color code from my other one. Again, it looks really dark when you start, but once we put some stuff in there, it'll actually look a whole lot better. And then we will add a row, which will be 2 columns. The one column will have a picture, and the other column will have the wording. So we'll start with the easy one. We're going to start with the image. Add a new element, image, and go ahead. We already uploaded the one that we're going to use. It's going to be this one right here. And then on this side, we're going to go ahead and add in the text. The text will be in 2 different elements. Starting off with, I'm going to copy it from the other screen. Starting with it's hard to see, but I'll change the color. Are dental implants right for you? And we want to put this aligned with the left-hand side. Go ahead and click on this. We're going to make it bigger, 56. And then we are going to change the color. This is going to match the rest of our funnel, so it pops out like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add one more element here. Basically, the call to action on the page is telling them to go ahead and take the quiz below to find out. And again, we'll update the font because we're not doing the same oranges on this one. I didn't just copy it. So what I'm going to do is open up, just make sure I got the same fonts right, but we're just going to change the color to white. White will allow it to set out. And you see how this kind of bundled. There's one image on here and there's so much empty space on each side, and this seems to be squeezed a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the spacing over to make it just look a little bit better. There we go. Now this is only 2 lines, this is 1 line, and this takes up a whole lot less space, but it still gives the accent that we were looking for. Alright, and as usual, save, save, save. It's going to ask you to put a title in there. So I'm going to call it Dental Implant Quiz. You can fill out the rest of this however you want to. Since this isn't the primary landing page, what I normally do is I don't fill out a lot of this because I'm going to actually hide it from SOE. The only reason I fill out the title is because that's what shows up here on the top when people are on the page. So let's go ahead and save that again, make sure everything's saved. And now we are going to do the quiz section. This is actually the bulk of what we're going to do. It's going to be I'm going to save some time by grabbing a lot of the text that I have already filled out from my other page, so it should go pretty quickly. But when you're doing it on your own, typing it all out, it can get kind of tedious, so I would make sure that you write all your questions and all your answers ahead of time. One, so you can plan it out. Two, so you can just copy and paste to make the whole process easier. So I'm adding a new section, full width. We're going to keep the white background. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a row. This is one column. And then we are going to add an element. And this is going to be, I like to call it a quiz, but it is also known as, where are you? Survey. It's the survey option once you're in the elements. There you go. And once you have this up, you'll see it's got the generic text in there. You click on the settings and you added the survey options button. When you click on that, it's going to bring me this screen. It's broken into 4 parts. It's the questions, triggers, which we're not going to use in this funnel, outcomes, and then settings. The main things that we're going to focus on right now is mostly the questions, which is going to be our 4 questions. And then we have just a little bit of work to do on the outcomes. But starting with the questions, we're going to start with question number 1. And the first question that we want to ask is basically, what is the biggest problem you've been having with your teeth? These are all qualifying questions to start warming up your audience. When they go through this, instead of just asking for their email address and name right away, which is cold traffic, a lot of times people reject that, especially if it's something like implants. So what you want to do is you want to warm them up a little bit and get them a little more relaxed and a little more trust flowing. So we're adding 4 questions to ours that'll allow us to do that. And the first one's this, and I have 4 answers already pre-written. It gives you 2 slots by default. So we'll go ahead and fill those 2 slots, and then you go ahead and add however many slots that you want. As I mentioned, we're going to have 4. So let me go ahead and just copy and paste those. Again, you want to try and cover as broad a range as possible, but you don't want to give them too many options. Typically, I recommend 4 max. So there are some cases where 5 makes sense also, but 4 options or less is best. You don't want to give them too many options, because then, one, they may not exactly know the answer to it and leave, or they just may see too many options and may be too daunting and they may jump to another page. So there we go. We have these 4 options put in there. As far as essentially whenever they click on any of these other options, it's going to go to the next question. So we're going to keep these as the default, and all of these up here are also just as the default. So we're going to go ahead and click back, and there you go. The first question is done. So if you want to add a second question, just go up here and click Add Question. It's going to be a multiple choice, and we're going to do the same process. I'm going to copy paste. This is question number 2. They got through the first one. Now they're asking, well, what's holding you back from fixing your problems? Again, a qualifying question, a relaxing question, trust building question. So there's going to be 3 options in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on 3, and we'll go ahead and copy and paste. You can adjust the wording in here. This just is some of the wording that we assumed covered most people. So now that you have those 3 options in there, keep that as next question, keep this all default, and you can click back. And now once you click back, you see that you have 2 questions in there. So we have 2 more questions to go. In order to do that, go ahead and click on Add Question, add your 3rd question. Again, multiple choice, and we'll copy and paste again. Oops. And this one also has 3 answers to it. So we'll go ahead and add the 3 in there. This is essentially just asking what's the biggest benefit if you solve your problems. It's allowing them to see the benefits really. It lets them connect it personally. So you can add more in here if you want, but we're going to go with 3. Again, next question. So once they answer this, it goes to the 4th question. This all stays the same. I'm going to click back. Now you see we have 4 questions sitting there. And we are going to go through the process of adding our last question. All right, and then create. And this one's basically the final qualifying. It's the question where it's the buying question. It's you want them to say yes. If they can say yes to themselves, basically, if you could fit it in your budget, are you ready to start right now to get implants? If they answer yes, studies have proven that it's a higher chance that they are going to move forward with the process. So it's a basic yes or no question. We got answer yes, which should always be on the top because that's the first option that people look at, and then no. So once they answer this question, they're not going to go to the next question. This is the fourth and final question. So we're going to pull on the drop-down menu and survey for both options. And now you click back. Now you have all 4 of your questions in there. All right, so now that you have all 4 questions in there, we're going to go to outcomes. And essentially, once they get to that end of the funnel, or end of the fourth and final question, and they answer it, what is the next step for them to move forward? And that's where outcomes come in. You're going to go here, and right now for this funnel, all answers to all questions are all going to lead to the same place. In the future, we'll do one where you can actually split them up. If they answer a certain question, they go to one page. If they answer a different question a different way, you can go to a second page. We'll go through that in a deeper dive. But for this funnel today, we're just going to keep one outcome for all answers. So you go ahead and click on the default outcome. And by default, it's going to go here and load to the new page. And essentially, when they finish this, it's going to go over to your congratulations page, which we'll cover on our next part. But the nice thing about ClickFunnels is it gives you an option where you can either go instantly to the next one, or you can do a load page, which essentially says that you're analyzing the results. And then it basically, that shows like the computer's processing your questions to see if you are a good fit. And then it'll go to the page that you identify here. Typically, it'll go to the next one. Sometimes what I like to do once we actually create that congratulations page, I like to come back in here and actually put the URL in there. It just eliminates different problems. But for now, we're going to leave this blank the way it is. And then once we finish the other page, we'll go ahead and come back to this. All right. There you go. You just entered all 4 questions into the quiz. Now you hit the X up here, and you'll see it down here at the bottom. For all purposes, this page is done. You can change formatting if you want. You can change the questions, the wording. You can add questions to it. Typically, depending on what the niche is, between 3 and 5 questions is probably best. They're, again, all qualifying questions to warm the customer up. But that's it. That's what this page looks like. And if I would have done it without talking, I probably could have done it in less than 5-10 minutes, just getting it all through there. So we'll go ahead and save, and that will wrap up this video. And actually, let me just quick show you what it looks like. So I'm going to go to preview, and this is when someone lands on the page and they want to answer the questions. They just hover over, click on it, it automatically goes to the next one, automatically goes to the next one, and so forth. And then once they click on that last yes or no, it'll go to that analyzing screen, which will show in the future, and then go to the congratulations page that we're going to work on next. All right, there's one other thing that I want to show you while we're in here. We're back on the actual editing page. I don't know if you noticed, but down here you saw the ClickFunnels banner. What I like to do is I like to shut that off on most of my funnels. And I didn't show that on the last one, but I do it for most of my pages. So I'm going to go back again to the editor. And on the top here, the settings, and if you go down to General, that gives you the option to show the affiliate badge, which we're going to turn off. And then you can either have it show in search engines or not show in search engines. And this is by individual page. So what I normally do is the first landing page in a funnel, I show in search engines. Every page afterwards, I usually don't show. So what I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And the reason behind that is if you want anything out there on Google or Bing or whatever, You want it to be the start of your funnel so you can lead them through the process. You don't want them jumping in the middle, being confused, and jumping away. You prefer them to see what the good pages and the cycle that you've built specifically for this. All right, and that is it when it comes to this sales page. I want to thank everybody for joining. This is part 2 of 5 parts of building out this dentist lead funnel. We are going to go ahead and post the next one, which will be the congratulations page, tomorrow. In the time being, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. Press that button below. Also, if you want to see a different niche, if you're a business, if you want to see gyms, or if you want to see chiropractors, roofings, anything along those lines, go ahead down in the comments and put that in there, and we'll look at that the next time we build out a whole funnel. All right, for now, thank you very much for joining us, and have a great rest of your day.